An important 2 points for the Edmonton Oilers as they return home for the first time in a month, getting the job done against the Ottawa Senators 5-4 in extra time. And we're going to break it all down right here on this fine station on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show on EST. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thomson, and Matt Cassian with you. We'll also be joined by Reid Wilkins for Reid's Read. Later on in the program, of course, you can text us, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well if you're watching live on YouTube, if you're listening live on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player. You can shoot us a note, too. You're not going to be left out at all. We want to hear your thoughts on Edmonton's victory tonight. Was it pretty? No. Was it worrisome at times? Yes. Do we have a lot of issues to talk about? Sure. But the bottom line is they breathe a sigh of relief and they get a couple of points against the Ottawa Senators, sweep the season series, 2 overtime wins versus the Sens, and they look ahead now to trade deadline day and the Carolina Hurricanes. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Benny Thomson, some initial thoughts because Cass is standing by, but I want to hear what you have to say about this Oilers victory.
Yeah, resilient. The first half of that game, it felt just like the past 3 games the Oilers have played. Just horrible defensive breakdowns. They had their chances in the offensive zone, but it just felt like they could not do anything to stop Tim Stützle and the Ottawa Senators running around their own end. It was pretty bad, at least in the first half. That second half of the game, man, they turned it up a gear. And I think it was only 2 shots allowed in that third period, which was great to see. You could just tell they poured on the pressure. They understood how important these 2 points were, and they end up coming back and getting it done. That might be one of the best games I've seen Leon Draisaitl play in a regular season. He was ridiculous tonight. I think you can tell he needed to step up and he showed it tonight. Should have had a hat trick of Nugent, tip it. But it was obviously problems. There was some glaring red flags from this game that we've been talking about, and they're still an issue. But good on them for coming back and showing that they care and understand the value of these 2 points. So good for them. 5-4 win over the Senators. You take it. Move on to Friday.
Yeah, not pretty, but effective. And 2 points is 2 points, especially in this race in the Pacific Division. And the way we saw it today, the Oilers in wild card 2. So this is good. Ultimately. Now the process we'll take a look at and nitpick here and there. And we'll do that with our game analyst, Matt Cassian. I'm going to read off a couple of texts first. Library Pat sent this in at 8:15 when things were looking so good. And then he follows it up with one that comes an hour and a half later. So Library Pat had said, Tommy, this game is the dictionary definition of calamity of errors. That's from Library Pat. Then he follows up with, and they didn't let the hole get too deep. As it turned out, lucky to get the win. So many gaffes, Library Pat. I think he summed it up pretty good there. RBM just sends a GIF of Ron Swanson that says, what the hell just happened? They won. Dirty Curdy chiming in. Dirty Curdy says, plan the parade all we need is 800 goaltending at the score of 5 a game. Conor Murphy, please save us. That's from Dirty Curdy. And this one from Sean says, Reid Wilkins, you sexy bitch. Woo! I was losing all hope, but 2 OT wins later. Nonsense. Gabe sense. Incense. Reid Wilkins 5-leg parlay in 5. LOL. Sean. Did his parlay hit? Did it really?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Let me check.
I don't know. I saw his up there and it had wild odds. I did not take them. But let's welcome in Cass, our game analyst. Matt, they give up 4. They go down a couple. They claw their way back into it. They win 5-4. Good, ultimately. But how it got there, not so good. They bench Wallman in the third period. How are you looking at this?
Yeah. first half of the game defensively was, as Benny mentioned, it was the exact same as we've been seeing. Like nothing changed in that first. Not that all of a sudden we thought it was going to, but I kind of hoped it was going to heading into that. Like the shock to the system of Murphy not even being in the lineup, but maybe just in the building would change things a little bit. And it didn't the first half of the game. And then the second half, guys, we got reminded that the Edmonton Oilers, when they're playing well, are a really good team. Mm-hmm. When they're firing on all cylinders, when they're moving the puck efficiently, they're a really good team. Mm-hmm. Like that first period in particular, it was sloppy. Like there was a whole swath of turnovers from their behind their net, and there was no one culprit. Like it was pretty much up and down. Like I saw Ekholm do it, I saw Bouchard do it, I saw Nurse do it, I saw McDavid do it, I saw Draisaitl do it. Like it's like I saw everybody doing it. A lot of missed passes, pucks off sticks, just an extra foot ahead, an extra foot behind. And then they got good for the second half of the game. Wallman ultimately finishes -2, but 11-16 of ice time.
Yeah.
Speaks to me that he's probably going to be the guy that starts on the de facto third pairing, we'll call it, on that left side. Mm-hmm. But a tough one for him. And maybe a message communicated by Knobloch that at this point, if they're not really happy with how you're playing, maybe you will get a few less minutes.
Cass, I mean, Wallman, I'm looking at my notes here from the game, and that first goal, was it a quick neutral zone transition? And I think Wallman bit on that one or got caught on that one.
Yeah.
I think there was another one in the first period where he got caught on. This is not new. And this is a veteran defenseman. So I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like veteran D-men who are supposed to get paid $7 million for the next 7 years aren't supposed to be susceptible to that so often. Is that not a fair statement?
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, it's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. I mean, I think it was in that play too. It was a combination of the pass to go alongside it. Like it gets beaten in his own zone on play number one or the goal number one, but it's the pass as well. I think it was Savoy maybe that it was behind at the blue line. But not what you want to see from a veteran guy that you are supposed to be relying on as, potentially 3-4 type of guy. So yeah, listen, it's not acceptable, and that's why he didn't play in the third. I'm trying to think of which other goal was.
Well, I have a shift chart here, and it's eventful. So his second shift resulted in a goal. His third shift resulted in a penalty. And then in the second period, a goal was one of the results and another penalty. Now I'm trying to see how many did he take and how many of those goals were his fault or against him. I got to go into the event summary. Let's see here. Where's his penalties? First period, Bouchard, Podkolzin, Nurse had the penalties. And then, so obviously that could be Sens or Oilers with the result. It just says P or G as the event of those shifts. So the goal was certainly when he was on and got caught. It was him and Bouchard. And listen, remember we were talking about the new D pairings going into this game? Yeah. Those didn't last long.
No.
To the fourth and after the first period.
Yeah.
I didn't even bring them up as game changers. I don't know if you guys realize that.
I don't blame you. No, I noticed.
I didn't think they were going to last.
Yeah.
I just assumed. I was like, yeah, they're probably not going to last. So yeah. And they didn't, which isn't shocking. We'll have to see now how they look because it's about to change again.
780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. The Oilers win 5-4 in OT. That's the main thing. That's a good thing. Let's see if they can build on this. And let's go to Sean Z, who texts in and says, I don't want to crap all over a win, but the Oilers shouldn't have been in this position. That's the frustrating part. I'm glad they were able to pull out the 2 points, and Draisaitl had to play like one of the greatest players of all time in order to make it happen. How about Brady looking like a complete jackass, completely tackling Connor? Totally unacceptable. Although I would love for him to be on my team. Signed, Shawnzy. And then Rowdy Roddy. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Rowdy Roddy. Long time. Says, hey, boys. Tommy, can you ask Cass if an addition like Conor Murphy can turn around a defense by just one player? It gives Coffee some choices. Love the show. Your pal, Rowdy Roddy. Cass, that's from our old friend Rowdy Roddy to you.
Roddy. Yeah, a good question, Roddy, and I think it can. Yes. Now it doesn't change it. It doesn't change it like adding a top six forward might change the look of your offense, right? Like it's more subtle than that, but it absolutely can. And I throw back, and I know he's not the same player, and I don't have the same expectations. You shouldn't have the same expectations, but I go back to the addition of Mattias Ekholm.
Yep.
Where it's like, here's a guy that is still more, and Ekholm still, it's not like he was an offensive threat like crazy. He puts up some points, yes, but a guy that's like steady defensive type of player, and he comes in and that, he completely changed their defense in terms of the quality of it. And I think you have the potential here with Conor Murphy to do the same thing, because if he steps in and he can play extremely well with Darnell Nurse, and their power play or penalty kill can improve somewhere between 5 and 10%. That in and of itself is a huge swing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So can it change it? Yes, it can absolutely change it. Now it's not like, don't expect him to be Chris Pronger type of change it. He's not going to be playing 26, 27 minutes a night, putting up points in both ends, but can he steady you out? Yes. We've seen it. We saw it today. Again, this team can put up points. McDavid and Draisaitl can score goals. When Draisaitl is, in a pissy mood,
mm-hmm.
and he wants to play hard, he is one of the best in the world. McDavid, one of the best in the world, the best in the world, really. Like you're going to put up points. So your defensive game, you add one piece, like that's, if you get 18 to 22 good minutes from Murphy and Knight, that's like, yes, that can dramatically change your team. Even if it doesn't feel like it, because it's not a guy that's going to be flashy. So I think he does improve the group, and he gives you something that you're sorely missed. Someone I don't know who threw it in. Someone threw it in the nasty chat, was like, Murphy fights too. Yeah, sure. Not that you need him to fight, but he's not afraid of it. And I love that he plays difficult in front of the net.
Yeah. You're just going to end it there?
I was going to end that one there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right, Benny, do you want to add anything? I've got a few stats from Swainer, but I want to go to you first if you got anything.
I've been seeing, so when you brought up Jake Wallman, a lot of people are like, what about the $9.25 million defenseman?
Yes, we're aware of him.
100%. But I'll say this, like, I don't know, maybe I need to get my eyes checked. I actually thought Nurse was pretty good tonight. He took a dumb penalty, which wasn't great, but I found he was more physical tonight, alongside of Frederick. Podkolzin was throwing around his weight tonight.
I like Podkolzin, James.
Yes.
James in the nasty chat giving me crap. I thought he was very effective today, James. No, he shouldn't be sent to Bakersfield, James.
But I guess I'll move points here to Podkolzin. I think Podkolzin is showing that he can be, like, he doesn't need Draisaitl to be productive. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to be in a top six role and be rolled out there for 18 minutes a night or whatever he was playing with Draisaitl to have an impact on the game. Obviously, he steps up for the Ekholm hit he took from Ridley Gregg. So, I mean, good for him in that sense.
What happened there really quickly?
Yeah.
Sorry, Benny. Cass, like, who missed that assignment on letting Ekholm know that there's a freight train? It was Ridley Gregg, but
it's everybody.
Okay.
I mean, that's your goalie should be screaming, your bench should be screaming, players should be screaming. And it was a good hit. Like, it was a good hit.
Yeah.
It was a clean hit, solid hit, read it well. That's everybody has to be absolutely yelling. Like, heads. And that, like, it's your bench. It also, though, was the type of play where, he didn't have much else to do. Like, I mean, if everyone was yelling, he may be able to throw on the brakes and it's not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time you see it, it's like he's kind of already committed to that side. But yeah, it's on everybody. Oh, let's blame the goalie, because goalies are fun to blame. So
Joaquin's in the nasty chat. Better watch out. He's going to come at you like he did me already. Okay, go ahead, Benny. Sorry for interrupting. Just wanted to get thought in there.
To me, I think Podkolzin, he played 12 minutes tonight, but you noticed him, right? And I think we're starting to see some guys now make impacts in the game. And it doesn't, obviously McDavid plays 27 minutes tonight, and they probably don't come back and win this thing if they don't ride those two with him and Draisaitl. But I noticed Frederic again today. I understand these two are playing with Draisaitl right now, but Savoy and Roslovic look really good right now. They seem really dangerous in the offensive zone. Savoy should have 2 assists. He only has 1. They screwed him over on that Draisaitl second goal. But to me, there's some guys here that are starting to make names for themselves and seem like they have an impact on the game. If they can figure out the defensive game, this could be a good sign for them in the future. I've
really liked Savoy lately.
Yeah.
Cass, is he like, what has clicked for him in the last little while where to me, he looks like an everyday NHLer?
Yeah, it was since the break. Really, since the break, like coming back out. I mean, he looked good before that. He's building, I think, confidence over the course of the season. Not that he didn't look good before the break, but coming out of the break, like he's rejuvenated in a lot of ways. He looks to me. I don't want to say he looks comfortable, but he looks like he's feeling like he can assert himself with the puck a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Like he doesn't, not that he was heavily deferring to other guys. Like it wasn't like he was just here to Draisaitl, here to McDavid, like just passing it off and trying to let them be the guy. I don't think he had that mentality, but I think for whatever reason, something clicked in that it's like, no, I can make plays.
Yeah.
And no, I can actually let my instinct kick in because he's got fantastic. And that goes back years of watching him playing junior is like, he's got fantastic offensive instincts.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see that a little bit, where his creativity in the offensive zone is starting to shine a little bit. He looks very, very good. I'll also agree. I thought Frederic looked good tonight again. And I know there's people like, well, look good. He doesn't have enough points. And I get that. I get that you're frustrated, and I'm sure he's frustrated too. He hasn't been able to put up points, but I thought he was good again tonight. Like I thought that line, and I know they end up -1, but I thought they were physical, and I thought they were around it. Like Frederic when he was out there, Podkolzin when he was out there, and Henrique too when he was out there. Like there was a simplicity to their game for the most part that I thought was really good. And Benny, I agree with you wholeheartedly. With guys like Savoy, especially in Roslovic, how he's looking right now too. I know he doesn't get any points today, but he looked very dangerous. Lots of opportunities and was part of lots of opportunities. I don't worry about their offense. I don't. Like it's still that defensive side of the game, which was a struggle again tonight that they have to lock up. And it's where if they can flip that switch, and it's a big switch, but it's a little switch, cheating a little bit less. I think a perfect example of it, and I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on it, was that like 4-on-1 that they had in front of their own net when they end up losing the puck and getting scored on. That's what it's been. And then backdoor pass through 4 guys. And McDavid being one of them, where it's just like he just wasn't, no stick down, wasn't paying attention. Like that's what it's been. But that play with the 4 guys in front was like a perfect example to me. But guys, they have the capacity for the offense. It's just the ability to play defense consistently that we haven't seen, and we didn't see in the first half tonight. Eventually, we did.
I thought, midway through that second period is where they started to wake up a little bit. Now, it wasn't perfect, but they clawed away at the Ottawa Senators and eventually took advantage and got the win. Now, I do have some stats for you. This one was from NHL PR, but with his 5-point night tonight, Leon Draisaitl passes Mark Messier on the Oilers list for multi-point games. That was his 301st career multi-point game. Messier had 300 on the button. The only 2 players ahead of Leon now, Connor McDavid at 362 and Wayne Gretzky at 472. Now, listen, if Connor sticks around for more than the next couple of years, I think he passes Gretz and maybe Leon. But that's a pretty prestigious group to be a part of, and Draisaitl is more than asserted himself that he belongs in that grouping. So I think outside of winning a Stanley Cup, like Connor, another amazing accomplishment individually for Leon Draisaitl, 301st multi-point game, 5 points tonight. Fantastic. And continues to truck along. So he's a tremendous player, and we've had the good privilege of watching him for now, 11, 12 years in orange and blue. And then Brian Swain texting this one in. Swainer gives us great stats as always on the post-game show. Says Bouchard, third defenseman in NHL history with at least 7 goals and 15 assists in a 10-game span, joining Paul Coffey and Bobby Orr. Prestigious, elite company there. He's tied Nurse for most overtime goals all time by a defenseman in Oilers history at 6. So that's also a pretty neat one. And the $9.25 million defenseman is tied with the $10.5 million defenseman with most overtime goals by a defenseman in Oilers history. Good dig there from Swainer. We always appreciate that, Brian Swain. Thank you so much, sir. Let's go to Collingwood Rob texting in 780-218-9999. If you want to hop in there, let us know your thoughts on the Oilers win. Says, hey, Tom, boys, the Oilers are like my love for Indian food. My wife tells me to stay away from it, but I can't resist. Then I'm happy, and then I regret it. And then I don't stop hearing about it for 3 days. Thank God the Pacific sucks. Signed, Collingwood Rob. And just a quick update on the standings as of right now. With that win, the Oilers jump over the Seattle Kraken in the Pacific Division. Edmonton with 68 points through 62 games. Seattle at 67. And then the Oilers 1 point back of the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks 3 games in hand on the Oil. And then 2 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights are the Oilers as of right now, with Vegas having a game in hand. I'm just looking to see. Vegas lost to Buffalo tonight in Buffalo. Is anyone else in action? Colorado's up 4-1 on Anaheim. San Jose leads Montreal. And what else? Am I missing anything else that's live?
Sharks beating Montreal, last I checked.
4-2, yeah. So there you go. So a good night on the out-of-town scoreboard as well for the Oilers. All right. 780-218-9999. BP Tony, great host. We had him on Saturday. Thank you for the awesome afternoon at BP 170. It says, hearing you guys talk up Savoy, just hearing Fried say he might be part of a package here. Huh. What? That would be... No. Cass says no.
No. Like how? No. Like that to me, that's clickbait. That's clickbait right there. That's got to be clickbait. Like no, you no way.
Stop it.
Way.
You made that trade, Ryan McLeod for Matt Savoy a while ago to have a guy that you can hopefully have produced for you on an ELC contract with a tight cap hit and everything. And Savoy has done nothing but that this season. He's been a very valuable piece to this team, making under $1 million. The Oilers value him higher, I think, than pretty much every other team in the NHL right now, just because of what he does for this team at the cap he's at. So yeah, I'd be shocked if they're getting rid of him.
You need guys on entry-level contracts that are producing, that can play two-way games up and down your lineup, and he's exactly that. I mean, that's why you traded McLeod for him. I know people would be like, well, you traded McLeod because he was too soft in the playoffs. Yeah, okay, maybe a little bit, but really it was the opportunity to say, hey, McLeod's going to be getting a big bump in pay. We've got cap considerations moving forward that we got to figure out. Here's an opportunity to get a guy that we think is going to be able to contribute at that same rate in the next year or two, or even 3 years potentially, on an entry-level deal, and that's Matt Savoy. So no, I would be shocked. I would be shocked and maybe appalled if that happened.
I appreciate that honesty.
Do you want to read?
Go ahead.
Sent them some text. Yeah. So
all you, Benny.
Reed from the dressing room saying that Wallman with a minor issue kept him out of the third period. Apparently, so it wasn't just him getting sat. It sounds like a minor injury.
Broken motivator, maybe.
That's not good. Again, injury. Come on. Come on.
Cesar went down early. I think he only played 2 minutes tonight. Out at least a week. Left arm was in a sling after the game.
Jeez.
So.
Okay. Big update there from Reid Wilkins down at Rogers Place. Thank you for that, Reid Rick. Nicely done. Benny interjecting, getting that in there. So a week for Lazar, at least it sounds like, arm in a sling. And then Wallman nicked up, didn't finish the game. Vincenzo simply texting in saying, this team makes me drink. Yes, they don't do it the easy way. They don't do it the easy way, but they got the job done tonight. I saw Shaggy said, but Utah won tonight, so that's not good for the Oilers. Shaggy, that's why we just talked about the Pacific. Shaggy, it's okay to have nice things every now and then and enjoy good things. All right. Let us know your thoughts on the Oilers win. Cass, we'll get your final thoughts going into this game against Carolina and the trade deadline. I know a lot of buzz around the Oilers. What are they going to do? The Mangiapane thing. Mangiapane played the first shift of the game, skated off the ice, and that was it for him down in Bakersfield this morning. They had a morning game against the Colorado Eagles. Conor Murphy's coming in on Friday. Just sum it up, looking ahead to Carolina on Friday with all that is happening around the NHL and the Oilers in the next few days.
Yeah. There's lots, as there always going to be. Could be changes. We will have to see. That being said, for the Edmonton Oilers, you gotta focus up on this Carolina game. I mean, there could be changes for Carolina too on the road.
Sure.
Wouldn't be shocking. They're certainly, I think, eyeing up. It seems to be trying to bring in some more offense, which is the one area of their team where they could use a little bit more is some goal scoring. But the Carolina Hurricanes guys are the real deal.
Yeah.
They are a legit Stanley Cup contender, more than anyone that Oilers have played since the break finished. Like, this is a team that has a very good chance at coming out of that East Division. Deep on defense, has some players like a Jacob Slavin that can shut down your Draisaitls and your McDavids. But then they do have some offense as well. Some good young players like Jarvis and some good players like Aho that do have some offensive capacity. It's a Carolina team that also plays the Rod Brindamore type of game. So it's not one where you can expect to trade chances back and forth and have a run and gun type of game. You get down 2 goals, 3 goals against Carolina, chances are they're locking you down. One of the best teams in the league for a reason. Edmonton has to be ready for this one. It'll be I think a great test to all of a sudden throw a Conor Murphy in, and we'll have to see Wallman what that situation. So for how the deep pairings shake out, what that looks like. But guys, for all the hubbub and buzz that is going to be going around the team, it's going to be very important for the group to focus as they can on being prepared for a very good, very hardworking, very up-tempo Carolina team that will absolutely eat you for lunch if you are not ready to go.
Touche, Cass. Touche. Hey, great work tonight. We do it all over again one last time together on Friday night. Cass, great work, and have yourself a lovely night, my friend, and we'll talk to you in the next couple days.
Thanks, buddies. Looking forward to it.
There you go. There's our game analyst, Matt Cassian, helping us break down the Oilers' 5-4 overtime win over the Ottawa Senators. I'm getting ahead of myself. They play Carolina on Friday. We're going to have Reid Wilkins join us for Reid's Read, which is brought to you by Ewell in a little bit when he returns home from the arena. He'll be joining us via his satellite studio. Benny Thomson, we're going to get to the turning point of the game, and the turning point of the game is now brought to you by the Sather Reid Sport Medicine Clinic, and they were Advantage Sport Med. They are now Sather Reid Sport Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at the Sather Reid Sport Medicine Clinic. Book your assessment today at www.satherreidsportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. All right, we're going to go to the 55-second mark of overtime, because that's when Brady Tkachuk jumped on Connor McDavid and took a penalty, which, I mean, you could think, was that a smart holding penalty because he saw a 2-on-1 developing, or was that dumb because then it would give the Oilers the best power play in the NHL an opportunity to capitalize. He was caught, made a choice, and it was costly at the end of the day. I don't know. I think Benny.
Yeah.
Now Brady skates well, obviously not as well as Connor, but I think if he was a nuisance to McDavid and hung onto his stick and tried to stay as best as he could stride for stride, maybe we're not talking about an Oilers power play. Maybe they don't score on that 2-on-1, and maybe the Sens keep their hopes alive of winning that game. So that is the Sather Reid Sport Med turning point of the game.
Fair. I mean, yeah, like that. Like it was a interesting play by him. I was like, "What are you doing?" But then at the same time, I was like, well, you're giving McDavid and Draisaitl 2-on-1, and there's not a chance Tkachuk was going to catch him. So, yeah, I kind of understood why he did it. For people calling it dirty, like I don't know if it's dirty. Like he kind of just jumped on him. Like it was like he was trying to make it obvious that he was going to take a penalty on him to make sure McDavid didn't get loose.
Yeah.
Right. So like you didn't want him to hook him, and then let's say he doesn't get a full hook, takes a penalty, but Connor still gets away and goes on a 2-on-1. You want to make sure if you're taking a penalty, you take him out with you. So. And
that's what he did.
Yeah.
Well, it was the turning point of the game because it allowed the Oilers to convert on the power play. Evan Bouchard blasting home the winner. All right. We do have Conor Murphy, the newest Oiler, who did speak to us in the first intermission. Reed and I did rock, paper, scissors to see who goes in the scrum. I'm just kidding. I said, go. Just go. I'll do social media stuff. So we do have that for you. Benny, let's play it.
Found out about the deal and kind of what your immediate instincts were in coming to be an Oiler.
Yeah, we're in Winnipeg for an off day, and we had a team thermia spa day. We did saunas and cold tubs, and then we got back to the hotel, and my agent just said that there was some talks going on with Stan, and didn't know, never happened to me in season, so I didn't know how long that could take or what that could lead to. And then about an hour later, it was done, and it was just like a whirlwind of emotions, a lot of excitement, and Edmonton has been a top team that had my sights set on when I knew something might happen, and just to be here is definitely surreal and definitely a lot of excitement to get started.
So this team wants to prevent goals 5-on-5 and on the PK. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to embrace that? Is that how you look at your role?
That's kind of all I've done. Yeah, my career has been a lot of penalty killing and defensive zone time. Not intentionally being in the D zone a lot, but sometimes we were in Chicago, and just where I'm comfortable, honestly, is more of my defending and using my instincts that way. And I've settled into that role for a few years now and been really comfortable doing it. And I think that's any team's goal, is to defend hard, and it's a team game to check and to give that mentality on your own end. But it's definitely something I take pride in.
You had Stan as a GM back in Chicago. What was the dialogue like with him reuniting here in Edmonton?
It was great. It was something. I had such great memories with him, and really appreciate the opportunity he gave me to go to Chicago, to be in such a big market, going from Arizona and having a chance to play with a lot of legendary players and people there. And then when you're around good people like him in the game, you want to be able to reconnect in some way. And the hockey world is small, and funny how you do find ways to cross paths again. And it's pretty cool to see, honestly, what he's done and this team's done in the last few years, and the mountain they've continued to climb. And I'm just really honored to be able to be here to try to do that again.
You played a lot of playoffs. You did play against the Oilers in the bubble, so what do you want?
What was cool about that is we got to see and experience the facilities more too. We got to use the Oilers dressing room, and we were stuck in the bubble with the fences around us. You had nowhere to go other than explore the arena a bit too. So it was cool to get familiar with this area and the hotel and surroundings, and it definitely feels comfortable that way already. And I've been here enough on the road to know the spots and know how it works around the rink. But even just to honestly get to know the community more is what I'm looking forward to too, and to explore outside the rink and to get to know fans and just people and build relationships would be a lot of fun.
So this is it's a pretty hockey crazy market, and expectations are high, pressure's high. How much from where you're coming from, are you kind of embracing that idea? Playoff hockey is the expectation and performances.
And it is for me too. I think that's something at this point in my career, winning is a top priority, and I've had a lot of opportunity given to me being on maybe losing teams in the past when I came up with Arizona and a few years in Chicago, getting more ice time that way, and feel comfortable with my role now and want to really just play meaningful games and winning hockey. And with that comes pressure, and I think that's what is a privilege to have on your shoulders, and to be able to kind of come together with a group and feel feel the emotions, the highs and lows is kind of what it's all about, and that's something that I really have had my sights set on, and that's honestly a big reason why Edmonton has been a top priority that I was hoping to come here to.
Do you know anyone in that room, or are you going in there?
Jack Rosovic's from Columbus, my hometown, so I know him well, and other guys just in passing, but not personally yet. So I'm excited to get to know guys, and honestly, you've heard a lot of great things of former teammates that have played with a lot of guys here and played here in general. And just nothing but good things, honestly, from each guy. So I'm not surprised to hear that, and I'm excited to get to know the guys.
Outside of Stan, did anyone reach out? Jack reach out?
Yeah, Jack, of course, FaceTimed me, and Connor and Leon did too. Texted me, and it was nice to hear from them and feel accepted right away. And you see what those guys carry leadership-wise a lot, and for them to go their way and Connor to reach out with his wife to mine too is big. Having my wife feel comfortable is really important. I think for our families to be able to come in a new surrounding and to feel a part of things is really important.
So
I have a 1.5-year-old, Tucker. So he's running around, so he'll need some space to run. And a couple days ago, he learned hockey is a word. His language is coming a little slow, his first words, but hockey's one of them. That's what I care probably most about right now.
So this is super premature, but I mean, you want to be in a hockey market? Like, is this potentially more than just a rental situation? Do you view it as?
I mean, it's been 24, not even 24 hours, so I'm not, honestly, my mind has just been on trying to get in here and play, and if that happens, that would be amazing, but it's more so just this year in general and coming into the situation, I just want to focus on my game and providing what I can and playing my best, and then that stuff's just kind of outside business that happens how it happens, but more so is really just trying to fit in, offer what I can, and be an impactful player in my own way and fit with these guys.
You see what's on the left side here on defense, and you know where you can slot in. What have you noticed, and what do you think moving forward here?
I noticed the talent, honestly, like the D-core specifically. I like a lot of the players with whether it's their skating or even the defensive play. You see what Ekholm can bring, and then with Wallman and Nurse having their game with the ability to be two-way players, I think is really good. And just what's nice as a D-man coming in is knowing that whatever partner you have, the capabilities that they have to make you look good. I feel like those guys are good players in their own rights, and to be able to fit in is a lot easier when they have that experience and that talent that they bring.
How do you?
In Spas in Winnipeg? Yeah, you didn't think they would? Okay, Thermia Spa was a good one. We had the whole team there, and we had a good sweat.
How do you feel about doing way more of this potentially?
That's fine. We're in Chicago's a bigger market, and we do plenty of media and availability, so it's nothing changed that way, and it's a part of the NHL, and I don't see any problem with ever answering questions.
Well spoken, smart, articulate. He'll be fine.
Yep.
Yes, Chicago is a great hockey market. I didn't say that. You did.
I did. And if the Oilers lose any game the rest of the year, you guys can at me. I was wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But
don't even tempt fate with that, Benny, because there are fans who will remember. I mean, here's an example, and it's Conor Murphy related. I tweeted out this morning a video of tonight's starting goalie, Connor Ingram, taking shots from Vasily Podkolzin. And I wrote, Conor Murphy is arriving into Edmonton late this afternoon and will not play tonight. Connor Ingram starts in goal. And there's Connor Ingram facing shots from Vasily Podkolzin. I have these dum-dums. This one guy goes, this isn't Murphy. Hope that helps.
Yep.
And then another guy says, your top line is talking Ab Murphy, showing a vid of a defenseman taking shots, incorrectly using an ellipses, doesn't even complete the ellipses with 2 dots instead of 3. And then, what else? I have to read it. It's beyond stupid how some people just, they don't pay attention.
You posted like the picture of him taking questions, like what we just showed, and that same person replied, this isn't Podkolzin, hey? Or whatever, like something like that, like following up on the tweet that they had before.
Oh, like, dude.
I saw those. I wanted to reply to them and just go, read the text again one more time.
Yeah.
Like one more time.
One guy writes right-handed. The other guy writes Murphy is right-handed. So I put all of those mutts together and I replied to them. What did I say to these idiots? This is Connor Ingram taking shots from Vasily Podkolzin during today's Oilers optional morning skate. Not hard to figure out.
Whoa.
What?
update, Canadian Sharks tied 5-5.
Wow.
So
All right. Thank you for letting me vent there.
yeah, no, I saw that too, and I had a feeling you'd be ticked off about it. That was it was just like
is it that hard to comprehend?
You didn't say that Conor Murphy was taking shots at practice. Like you said, he was coming in that day, and he wouldn't be ready for the game tonight. And that would be go hand in hand with he wouldn't be there for practice too. Like that would like.
Like, I'm sorry, those guys that replied with that, you are dumb. I'm just gonna say, you guys are dumb. You're dumb. I'm sure they're good people, but they're dumb. Just gonna leave it at that.
When you think someone got it wrong, give a read. Give it another read. See if
maybe double check that.
Yeah,
maybe double.
See if
reading comprehension probably wasn't those guys' strong suit.
Wasn't mine either.
That just feels so good to get off my chest. Yeah, that other meathead was like, "Oh, this is Conor Murphy, not Vasily Podkolzin. Maybe that helps." And I'm sure that's exactly how his voice sounds. All right, let's go to Adam from Lloyd texting in. Very happy after the Oilers 5-4 OT win. Adam from Lloyd writes, "See, boys, I told you they'd be motivated. They just needed to get down 4-2. Tough stretch of games coming up here. This could get ugly if they bring this game in the next 4. The boys need to find it here. Did you guys see what happened to Lazar? Have a good night, guys." Yes, arm injury, as our good buddy and colleague Reid Wilkins pointed out, expected to be out at least a week. Nolan from St. Albert says, "Well, Draisaitl is one of the best players of all time," in response to the text, just calling a spade here. And then Brandon from Windsor was giving Cass love on his new gig. He'll announce what it is. It's Oilers adjacent, as he says. He'll announce it shortly when he's ready to. Vincenzo texting in said, "This team makes me drink. Hockey for dummies. LOL." Yes, sometimes, Vincenzo. Hampton Steve texting in says, "Good evening, gents. Having to score 5 goals a night to win games is a tough way to play. But at this point, I'll take the points. With the Oilers having a few days off and having a game on Friday, do you think they make the rest of their trades over the next couple of days so that all new skaters can play on Friday night?" Hampton Steve, if they can get that done, I'm sure they would. But I feel like, and Hampton Steve, you know this, teams field calls, try to squeeze the most out of deals, and they wait till the last second. So maybe the intent is to get them done in advance, but it's kind of, they're at the whim of the team that they're making the deals with. So
yeah,
we'll see.
With a team that's this tight to the cap and tight on assets, you'd want to get everything as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
If that takes all the way up right to the very last minute of the deadline, then that's what it takes. And yeah, who knows? I guess maybe they don't play Friday, but yeah, it is what it is. You gotta get them for cheap.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any other clips to get to right away?
Yeah, we have Evan Bouchard. Want to get to him? The overtime winner?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, let's hear from the winner.
Evan Bouchard from the locker room tonight.
I feel like it was going to come if you guys just kind of stuck with it there. Did you feel them bending?
Yeah. We knew we had to have a push in the third period. First 2 weren't good enough. Giving up 4 goals is not a good recipe for success, but we knew we had to stick with it. We had the guys that can put the puck in the net, and took the full 20, but that's what it took.
I guess about having that talent when you're down 2 goals, 1 into the third, you've done it so many times. I guess what's the confidence level knowing that you turn it on, you can come back against this team?
Yeah. We know we can come back against any team. Know what we want to do. We want to be playing with the lead. But it's good to know, to stay confident that we have the guys that can get us back in it.
So there's been lots of focus on trying to cut back the goals against you. What do you think needs to happen here, Evan, so you guys aren't chasing games the way you have been so much?
I think not give away easy goals, simple plays around the net, stay hard around there. If they want to score from outside, give them that, but it's more tightening up around the crease, around the net.
Your game has gone to a new level since about the beginning of December. What's going right for you, and where are you most confident about?
Yeah, it's been good for me, but my teammates are putting me in good spots to succeed. Yeah, it's all about the game right now, all about the team wins right now.
How much more of an advantage is a 4-on-3 as opposed to 5?
Yeah, a lot more room out there. A lot more room for seam passes. They got to stay tight, so it kind of opens up some shots.
You guys have been talking for a long time about cutting the goals down, and then you give up 4 in the first 40. That would have been a time where it might have crumbled a lot of teams. I mean, what did it take in here? What was said to kind of fight back and get that thing done?
Yeah, we knew that wasn't good enough. 4 goals in 40 minutes. Like I said, we stayed confident. We knew we can come back, and yeah, like I said, that's what we did.
I imagine it takes a lot more out of your group to have to battle back in these games. Like, my point is, you're not giving yourselves a lot of easier nights. This kind of accumulates.
Big time, yeah. The bigger guys got to play bigger minutes when it's like that, and guys, it really puts a lot more pressure on the team, especially when we need the win. So we got to start playing with the lead and keeping the puck out of our net.
Thoughts on the move to bringing Conor Murphy into the fold?
Yeah, I think it's a great addition. I think Stan did a good job, and I think he's going to be a big piece for our team going forward.
All right, there you go. There is Evan Bouchard with the winner tonight in the Oilers' 5-4 victory over the Ottawa Senators, his 18th goal of the season. McDavid, 70th assist on that goal. Draisaitl, 57th. Draisaitl completing a 5-point night. You can text us, 780-218-9999. Hop into the nasty chat as well. In that time that we went to Evan Bouchard, one of these guys on Twitter replied,
wow,
like a jackass. Like, I just, like, come on. These guys, man, just, oh God, I don't even know why I reply. They're done. Not irrelevant. I'm just getting angry. It just makes me mad. Makes me very upset.
Deep breath. It's okay.
Serenity now, insanity later.
Yes.
Let's get to the inbox, 780-218-9999. Big Dave says, after a game like that, I'm excited to see Murphy get in the lineup and hopefully stabilize the defense. We've all said for years that Nurse could use a stay-at-home guy to help him out, so maybe this can be it. Carolina will be a big test, especially if they come out of the gate like they have since the break. Hontorio Momes says, boys, I was at the game. I never would have said this before. I watched them live this year. They lack people who want to hurt the other team. Kane and Perry brought that. I would be okay if they were picking up a mid-six scorer and a guy who struck fear in people. Somebody has to make the other team scared. Hontorio Momes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. They don't have a lot of guys who are mean and impose their will on others. So that's a fair statement indeed. All right. Reid Wilkins is standing by. Let's bring him in. It's been a little while since we've done a Reid's Read, which is brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialist. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. This man is powerful. This man brings the electricity. This man is wearing a damn nice suit from Modern Measure. He is Reid Wilkins. Reid, Rick, I read out your text from earlier, or no, Benny read out your text from earlier with the update on the injuries, but for those that maybe didn't catch it, what is the latest on Wallman? What is the latest on Curtis Lazar?
Wallman held out, sounded like a minor issue that they just didn't want to take a risk. So I guess we'll find out more from him about him as the week goes on. Lazar was waiting, by the stick racks. The players who are scratched or not in the game wait for the team to come off when they win. And he had his left arm in a sling that was visible to those of us waiting to go into the dressing room. And then head coach Chris Knobloch said that the first he said he'll be out a while, and then he said at least a week. So not great for Lazar. No. He generally gives you a pretty honest effort when he's in the lineup. So that's the bumped and bruised report after this game.
All right. We'll get to the game, but really quickly, Conor Murphy spoke. You had a couple questions in there. What did you take away from that availability?
Well, very well spoken. Seems very happy to be here. He said that one comment about that Edmonton was a team he was a target for him if he was going to be traded somewhere. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, he knows his role. Like he knows he has to defend and kill penalties. I don't think he has any illusions about coming to Edmonton and turning into a half a point per game defenseman or something like that. So that's good. I know somebody wrote in to Jay and I either yesterday or today. Hopefully he doesn't get Oilerized like gambling and getting out of position.
Yeah.
So no, he seemed very positive, very, very upbeat. He was very well spoken, as you heard, and definitely seemed like he welcomes the trade and specifically welcomes being traded to Edmonton. So that's good.
All right. So the Oilers pull off the win tonight, 5-4 in overtime. They have to dig their way out of a multi-goal deficit. It ain't pretty, Riedrich, but all that matters is they get 2 points. How do you assess this one?
Well, they're never out of it. I mean, as we've seen, even the game against San Jose on the weekend, there's no reason to go to bed after the second period if they're down a couple goals, maybe even down 3 some games like they were against the Sharks back in January. So that's good. I mean, we know they can turn it on. We know they have dangerous players. We know they can keep pushing. But it was interesting. Have you guys played Knobloch yet? I don't know if I missed that.
No.
Like I kind of asked him, it's kind of a game of 2 parts, the part where you gave up 4 goals and then the part where you outshot them. I think it turned out, I said 24-6. I think they altered the shots. The shots from when Ottawa went up 4-2 until the end of the third period were 23-6 in favor of the Oilers. That's a 30, that's almost a 35-minute span. Like Ottawa for most of the third period had 1 shot. They got a couple in the end after the Oilers tied it. But I asked Knobloch about giving up those 4 goals and, was it as sloppy as other games? And he said, well, I want to watch it again. I don't know if it was team play or as much as some individual issues. And plus they were shorthanded, 3 times in the first 10 or 11 minutes of the game. So that didn't help. But I mean, I don't know, guys, are we at the point here where we maybe have to just accept that the best defense is a good offense because they can't play good defense. Yeah. So if they can forecheck and crank it up and hem other teams in, I mean, the Oilers didn't outshoot them by that margin because they were defending well. They outshot them by that margin because they were pushing the pace and forechecking well,
right,
and getting second chances, keeping pucks in, keeping plays alive. But I just thought, again, on some of the goals against, I mean, they got scored on a power play where they allowed a cross-ice pass. Probably Ingram would like to be out a little further on that one, but I guess when you're shorthanded, you're also guarding a backdoor pass.
Mm-hmm.
But, Bouchard, who still had a brilliant game in a lot of ways and is on an incredible point pace here, the one goal where he just threw it away behind the net, like missed. It's like a quarterback missing an open receiver over the middle, and you're like, how did he miss that? Mm-hmm. Misses it on the backhand, and then that was the cross ice pass, I think, to Batherson, wide open, and then they compound that by giving up a goal 41 seconds later, I believe. So that's not great, and just we still see it. Just this sort of confused defending, guys. And it's almost like they don't really have a plan, though I'm sure they do, but they don't execute it. But it looks like they don't have a plan for what to do when the puck gets turned over.
Well, they get burned.
They get burned. And again, even some occasions, especially earlier in the game, like defensemen getting sucked up into the neutral zone, like trying to pinch, trying to intercept a pass. And it's like, why? Like, just make it a 3-on-3 and defend it. And I think this is what Stan Bowman said yesterday when he said, we don't always have to look to make a play. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because the whole point is trying to make plays to win. But what Bowman, I think, is saying is don't try to make plays that aren't there, or don't try to make low percentage plays.
Right.
You don't need to try to intercept the pass when missing the pass means it's a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1 the other way. Like it's fine to defend an even man rush.
It's easier to defend.
Though sometimes when they do that, they back in too far.
Yeah.
So they. What can we say except you hope Murphy makes a difference, and you hope that they continue working at it and maybe get back to a semblance of the team that actually can play better defense, because a lot of these guys have. Mm-hmm. Nurse, Draisaitl, McDavid, and again, some of the mistakes are the bigger guys who are getting sucked out of position or making kind of foolish foolish decisions. But they stuck with it tonight. These are two valuable points. I don't know if the Sharks won or not.
It was
Utah
tied
won,
last
right?
we saw.
5-5.
Yeah, and I mean Utah's in the mix, right, for potentially a wild card, depending on how if the Oilers ever drop out a third in the division.
Right.
6-5 San Jose with a minute 45 left in the third.
Ooh, the Sharks. All right, it is Reed's Read, brought to you by Ewell, Tom Gazzola, and Ben Thompson with you as well. You can text us 780-218-9999. I saw this one in the nasty chat, and it just said, what did we think of today's goaltending from Connor Ingram? Ingram's numbers tonight: 21 shots faced, 17 saves. That's an .810 save percentage. I thought he got stronger as the game went on, although he didn't need to see a lot of shots. I noticed that it was Ottawa aiming glove side and up high, and they scored a couple of their goals on him that way. How would you assess the goaltending, Riedrich, on this night?
Yeah, probably just okay. I mean, guys, I got to be honest with you. I don't even remember the first goal of the game.
Dylan Cousins on the D-to-D regroup
Short
through
side.
the neutral zone.
Ripper.
Yeah, and he ripped.
Oh, that
it
was
high.
when they turned the puck over in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
And they didn't recover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Batherson goal was on the power play. Again, he maybe could have been out a little more on that one. The Batherson second goal, that's just, they got confused defensively.
Yeah,
Batherson's wide
coverage.
open.
Scramble in front on that other one.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously would like a save at some point when 4 go in on 15 shots. But I do think there are some times where there's a screenshot or a scramble and the puck just hits him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of my criticisms of Skinner. It's like, well, why is he a bigger goalie getting beat on shots through a crowd? Like, sometimes you got to be in position to hit them. But I mean, I guess you give Ingram credit that he got the win. I mean, statistically, this is not a quality start. I would say for his individual game, probably just okay.
Gets the win.
That's.
Do you start him on Friday?
I don't know.
Had to ask.
I mean, I'm in favor of playing him a lot, but he has started 3 in a row. Like, I wouldn't want to let Jari go totally cold. Maybe it's going to be who do they sooner have in against Vegas, and that's probably Ingram. So I could see them going Jari, Ingram, Jari, Ingram in the next 5 games, because there's that back-to-back next Thursday, Friday. You're going to split them for sure.
Yep.
So maybe Jari gets this game, Ingram gets games 1, 2, and 4 on the road trip.
All right, Reed, before we take a look ahead to Friday, the deadline, and that game against Carolina, my dad texting in Reno says, your mom wants to know if they're giving the hats back. I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Yeah, actually, Nugent Hopkins was waiting for fans as they left the rink and individually handing them their hats back.
There you go, Mom.
That's what a team player is.
There you go.
No, that's not true. Everybody, don't report that.
Pretty sure they're not giving them back.
That's a joke.
They donate them. They generally donate them. So
a couple of weird goals, eh?
Yeah,
like that one off Nugent Hopkins' leg as he's jumping to get out of the way.
Yep.
And then which was the other one where Stützle was trying to shoot it to the corner and it went in off Jensen?
I thought that was Batherson off of Jensen. Or was it Stützle?
Was it Batherson? It might have been. You know what, guy? I got, because they're 18 and 19. I can't always see the numbers that well.
It might have been
because it was a right shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was probably Batherson. Yeah. So Batherson off Jensen. Like, that's a weird goal.
I'll take it.
A guy shooting it to the corner and it goes in off his own guy perfectly. But maybe not as weird as the one Wallman scored when Columbus accidentally put it in their own net shorthanded earlier in the season.
All right, Reed, take a look ahead to trade deadline and that game against the Hurricanes on Friday.
Yeah, I really respect and like some of the national insiders who are saying the Oilers are going to do something big. I just don't understand what it's going to be. They're probably not going to trade for a goalie, so Bennington, Bobrovsky's name is floating around because he's a UFA. He also makes $10 million.
I love all the solutions to the cap crunch that insiders, pundits, fans are coming up with that make it seem so simple for the Oilers to pull off any significant move. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I love them because it's very creative and clever. How realistic are they? Probably not, but it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think Nurse is going to waive his no move clause and be traded, and even if that happened, the Oilers would probably have to retain salary. So I don't know. Of course, there could be something surprising.
Yeah, sure.
But if I look at like eye-popping names going in or out, I don't know how that happens. I think they're going to get somebody for the third line.
Yeah,
I guess an O'Reilly type, but he said he doesn't want to be traded, didn't he? A couple days ago.
Yeah, and he also got hurt tonight. Seems like he'll be okay, but it sounds like it looks like an injury.
Yeah, but Bowman has to try to address the third line. You saw it tonight. Like, how much did Henrique wind up playing?
I actually thought that line did some good stuff tonight.
But that's what I'm going to say, Tom. Henrique actually, I thought, played one of his better games, but he's become a bit of an almost player.
Yeah.
He almost got there in time.
Yeah.
He almost scored. So I think he can be helpful, and I think his face-off ability can be helpful. And now with Lazar out for who knows how long, you might need him. But I think they need a better third-line player and one who might actually pot a goal every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now, again, who do you give up for that? Like, are teams lined up to take Mangiapane? Well, they could have just taken him without trading anything for him, right?
Yeah. Riedrich, great stuff. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, we're at Mr. Mike's tomorrow.
That's right. Good reminder.
Bonnie Dude, Mr. Mike's. What are 11 to 6? So we're there from 3 to 6 for the Reid Wilkins show. It's going to be fun.
Come on down and enjoy. They have the sirloin bites that we love so very much as a station. So great stuff. Hey, that suit looked great tonight, buddy. It really did.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks to Modern Measure. It's fun to wear the suit. Great addition to my vast suit collection.
It fits you like a glove. See you, Riedrich.
Thanks.
All right, there's Reid Wilkins with the Reid's Read brought to you by Ewell. Somehow I activated Siri on my phone. That's ridiculous. No. Unbelievable. All right, we do have a few minutes left. Text us 780-218-9999. Should we hear from Leon Draisaitl really quickly?
Yeah, that's it.
I'll leave it up to you, Benny. Couple minutes of Leon.
Yep.
Big 5-point night for him.
He spoke for 2.5 minutes here. So,
okay.
Leon Draisaitl from the locker room tonight.
Like you guys carried most of the play and feeling them bend a little bit?
Yeah, I think did a good job in the third of putting them on their heels and keeping it fairly simple. And then we just needed 2 plays, so ended up working out for us. But you be careful to be in those situations too many times, right? Like you can't keep chasing games going into the third. It's not a recipe for success. So at this time, you take any point you get, and there's a lot of positives tonight for sure. But there's also still some things that we need to clean up.
I don't want to critique Wayne too much, but how much more does it take out of you guys in particular, like chasing games and having to play these minutes to grind back?
I mean, yeah, it's taxing, but it's what we get paid to do. But I think as a group, we can be better and just make it a little easier on ourselves. I think that's what it comes down to.
This is a group, though, that's done this time and time again, going to the third period down 2 goals. You look at this group and say, we can do it again. We have the talent in here to get this.
For sure. It's certainly something that we can do, and we're going to do it again. I know that. That's what we do. But long term, if you want to go deep, if you want to, be all the way at the end, that's not a recipe that you want every night or every other night in a playoff series. So something that we need to clean up a little bit.
What have you seen from Bouchard here the last, I don't know, we'll say a few months? Like, he seems like he's hit a different level.
Yeah, I mean, he's as good as it gets in the league. He's up there with the Makars, the Hughes. He does it his way. It might not be as flashy as those guys, but he gets it done, and he is one of the best defensemen in the league. Has been for a few years now, and obviously this year I think he's taken another step, which is amazing to see.
In terms of defending, you guys add Conor Murphy. Just give us thoughts on what your experience is playing against him and what you think you're getting.
Yeah, he's a big guy, hard to play against. I think he knows what he is, and he tries to stick within that, and I think that's going to be good for our group. I think that he's going to bring a little bit of simplicity into our game, hopefully, and very excited to have him.
There you go. There's the Deutschland Dangler with 5-point night, 2 goals, 3 assists, +2 for Leon Draisaitl. 23:08 time on ice, 4 shots, 1 blocked shot, and on the dot, what was he tonight? Draisaitl finished 66.7%. Very good night for Leon Draisaitl. The Oilers get the win, the 2 points. That's very important. And just quick out-of-town scoreboard update for you. 7-5, the San Jose Sharks defeat the Montreal Canadiens. They had to claw their way back in that one. And San Jose now at 64 points, 3-game winning streak, 4 points back of the Oilers, who now have 68 points, 1 up on the Seattle Kraken, tied with the Utah Mammoth. There you go, Shaggy. I mentioned the Mammoth. I know you wanted that very much. I'm here to please. All right, Benny, let's get into the player of the game. I'll let you take it away.
The Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home and community-driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. You guys know my rules. I keep it usually Oilers, and I usually don't do any one of the 3 stars. I'm going to overwrite that rule today. I said it right off the top. I thought Leon Draisaitl had to have been one of his best regular season games I've ever seen him play. You see him raise his play in the playoffs. This felt like a Leon Draisaitl playoff performance tonight against the Ottawa Senators. I thought he was the best player on the ice tonight. I thought the Germans, Stützle and Draisaitl looked incredible tonight for both teams.
What about Szymanski?
I know. I was about to say Szymanski looked good, solid, not anything insane.
He's fresh into his NHL career.
Exactly. He's got to find his way. But yeah, man. I mean, Leon Draisaitl was incredible tonight. A factor in on every single goal for the Oilers tonight. Should have had a hat trick. Hits off Nuge's foot. It doesn't get much easier than that for him. But it was just great to watch him play. He has these turnovers sometimes during the regular season where you kind of just tell he's kind of hoping a play works out in when he throws a pass across the ice or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't really crap on him necessarily because he's so good and that play does work for him at times. But you kind of tell it's a regular season game for him. He's willing to take that risk. In the playoffs, I feel like he kind of is a little bit more safer and more dominant. But tonight, you can see he lowered those turnovers a lot. Skating hard, keeping pucks alive. His line, I thought, was really good. Savoy Rostovich with him as well was really, really good. So, Leon Draisaitl, man, he's getting player of the game. I'm overwriting my rules because he was that good for it.
Well deserved, Benny. Nicely done. Of course, the player of the game brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. A lot of fun tonight. I'm getting really annoyed with those guys that are dumb when it comes to reading comprehension on Twitter. Serenity now. The Oilers, 5-4 winners in overtime. Evan Bouchard, the GWG on the power play. Brady Tkachuk took the penalty. That probably makes Oil Country quite happy as well. A little sweetener on top. The Oil back in action Friday night, taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. We will be back with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game show on Friday. It'll be Matt Cassian's final night with us as our game analyst as he gets set to take on a new role that is Oilers adjacent, pretty much working for the team. We'll let him unveil what that role will be, but we look forward to that final show with Cass And we'll also have all your trade deadline coverage as well on EST. I'll be down at the rink while the boys provide coverage. Also have all of our shows from 11 to 6 live on location. Mr. Mike's Bonnie Doon tomorrow. Come join us, won't you? For Benny, for Cass, for Reed, I'm Tommy saying thank you for listening on iHeart, TuneIn, and of course for watching on YouTube. Ciao for now.